Hey, Clay Allison from Wicked Edge. In my Gen 3 Pro, I've got a Spyderco Manix 2, and I want to walk through some of the settings to get great results on sharpening this knife in the Gen 3 Pro or the Pro Pack 3 or the WE130, any of the sharpeners that have the cam-lock jaws. Okay, so first things first, this is a fully flat ground blade, and it really benefits from being sharpened in the cam-lock jaws because the way these jaws move in together conform to the shape of the blade. So that's really helpful. The other thing that's a little bit challenging, or at least unique and interesting about this, is the overall blade shape, which is kind of like a leaf shape in the way that it tapers to the front. And so when you set this in here on top of the depth key, it's going to have kind of a funny tilt to it. And people often wonder if that's going to be a problem. It turns out actually that the setting that I like to use for this knife is to go ahead and use the top holes of the vise with the depth key and set the spine of the knife on both prongs of the key, and then just line up the spidey hole right here with the back of the jaws. And if I lock it in place there, I can pull out the depth key, and then I can just color in the bevel with a marker here, and you'll see that we're going to actually have a really nice uniform bevel size all the way down the length of the blade. So I'll take a couple passes here. And you'll see I'm really getting the marker off all the way along. Do it on both sides here. And I'm just using a lapping film at the moment, so it's kind of going slowly through this, but it shows you how nicely that's taking the marker off all the way along and keeping that bevel even. The other thing to note on this particular knife, generally speaking, around 17 degrees is a good place to start if you're using the top holes in the vise. So, Spyderco Manix 2, you're going to put it in top holes, rest the spine on both prongs of the depth key. So don't try and tilt it so that the blade is horizontal. Just go ahead and rest it like this so it tilts down toward the front, and line up the spidey hole with the back of your jaws there, lock it in place, and then start at around 17 degrees per side and see how well that matches. In my experience, Spydercos are very consistent in the way that they're manufactured. Typically, the bevel angle is uniform on both sides, and usually it's about the same from knife to knife. So I think this is a great place to start, and of course it's an awesome knife, so enjoy.